For the record, do you want to hand your copy of the PSI to the bailiff?
The state of Ohio has already given their copy back to the bailiff.
You want to give a copy back to the bailiff? We're here today for sentencing. Does the state of Ohio wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state has had opportunity to receive a copy and to review the PSI. We have one correction to make. Page 22 in the summary, as the court is aware, about halfway down the page, as it discusses the felony murder count, there's a scrivener's error that just left out the word guilty. And you can see that it does repeat itself for the remaining counts, and it's consistent with your findings at the trial.
So consistent with the journal entry I put on.
Yeah, your journal entry is correct, and the court speaks to its journal entry, but I just wanted to note that midway down through, it should have said on count 2, murder and unclassified felony, that the court found the defendant guilty, similar to what it says for the other counts. I just wanted to place that onto the record. The state of Ohio has no other corrections or additions to make to the PSI. We find it accurate in its contents and reflections, and the state has, at the appropriate time,
Why don't we do that now? Which count do you want? The counts, for the record of counts 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to merge for sentencing purposes. Which count do you want them to merge into?
The state of Ohio
to elect on that.
We're going to elect to sentence on the felony murder count in count 2, and it's gun specifications.
Let me go on that. Then I rule that the gun specifications merge in counts 1 and 2, and also merge in counts 3 and 4. Which ones do you want me to sentence on?
We ask you to sentence on count 2, gun specification, and count 3's gun specification. That is a felonious assault charge.
And that's pursuant to case State versus Bowler,
Yes.
2022, Ohio, 4370.
That's correct, Your Honor. We believe that based on that case law, the court must sentence the defendant pursuant to 2929.14B1G to a consecutive gun specification term for a total of 6 years, in addition to the sentence for the felony murder charge. I think that's statutory and consistent with State v. Bolivar's case law.
All right, that's what should be heard.
Your Honor, thank you. May it please the court. We would ask the court to merge the 2 gun specs and impose a total sentence of 18 years to life. We certainly understand that Mr. Mishniak has correctly quoted the statute. The court is familiar with the Ohio Supreme Court case, as is the prosecutor, as is the defense, and I believe the court is somewhat bound, obviously, by Ohio Supreme Court precedent. We are objecting for the record and preserving that issue for further review. Thank you, sir.
Anything further you want, any arguments you want to make on the sentence?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. And again, I know the court is limited on what options you do have available. We have one Marcy's Law victim representative who would like to speak to the court, Mr. Paul Cunningham.
Okay, I think we will start out with the state's victim impact statements,
That's fine.
and they may speak from the podium, and then we'll take the defense victim impact statement, and they may speak from the podium.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This time, the state of Ohio would call its 2 victim representatives, Barbie Friedman and Sarah Long. We'd ask that they be allowed to come to the podium together along with Ms. Finnegan. If you could both start by stating your name and then spelling your last name for the court record.
For the record, I need you to state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, and speak into the microphone.
Sarah Long, L-O-N-G.
Thank you. Say anything you wish to say.
I've never known true heartbreak and emptiness until the day I lost my sister, Lacey. I never imagined anything like this would ever happen to us. Lacey was my younger sister and my best friend. We told each other everything. She listened, never judged, gave great advice, and would always show up when I needed her. The last time I talked to her, it was just a normal conversation, never imagining it would be our last. I wish I would have told her how much I loved her, and how being her big sister was one of the best things that ever happened to me. How proud I was of her, and how she meant everything to me. I never got the chance, but I hope she knows. I hope she knows. I was always the protective older sister, but I was not there to protect her that horrible day. I would have done anything to protect her and save her, but I couldn't this time. Lacey's missed so much in the last 6.5 years. She missed being the matron of honor at my wedding. She missed my son being born, her niece Arissa becoming a mother, not to mention all that she's missed with her precious boys. They play sports and do well in school. They have friends and are little gentlemen, but she will never get to see that. She'll never get to help them with their homework, teach them how to drive, watch them graduate from high school and college, or get married. She'll never get to become a grandma or even grow old. You stole all of that from her and your boys, Eric. For years, I thought about what I was going to stand up here and say to you. Would I tell you how much I hated you and how you and your attorneys have made a mockery of Lacey's death and turned the whole process into some game? How the defense wore the not guilty mask during COVID, gave winks and thumbs up when they thought they did something good in court, like it was just some performance. Did anybody ever take a step back to think that Lacey is dead, that Eric shot her 3 times in their garage with their sons a few feet away, and that's why we're here? This isn't a game, and although I've waited all this time to hear the judge utter the word guilty, and as much joy as it's brought me to know that Lacey has gotten the justice she deserves, it still doesn't bring her back. We still miss her more than words could ever say, and there's still a giant hole in all of our lives. I've had a lot of years to think and talk to God and to Lacey, and I know that if I want forgiveness and grace from God, that I must give it to others. I've been given forgiveness and shown grace many, many times when I didn't deserve it at all. Lacey always hated seeing me upset, and she hated when I was angry. I've been angry and held hatred in my heart for too long. Eric, you are going to prison, and if I hold all of this hate in my heart, I'll be there right along with you. I will be held hostage by my anger. I stand up here today to say that I don't hate you. I hate what you did, and I hate that Lacey is gone forever, but I don't hate you. Through God and other godly people, I am working towards forgiving you one day. Not just for you, but to set myself free and really begin to heal.
Bobby Friedline, Freedline. When you have a child, they are your child forever. Their age doesn't change that. Arguments don't change that. Their marriage doesn't change that. When a child dies before their parent, it isn't the natural order of death. This tragedy has left a giant hole in my heart. Something is always missing. I do find joy with Sarah, my grandchildren, and great-grandchild, but that hole is still there. It never goes away. Lacey is missing. I didn't get to say goodbye. There are many more conversations needed between Lacey and I. I have guilt because I was not there to protect my child. I walked Lacey down the aisle and gave her to the man who was supposed to love and protect her. You betrayed her, Eric. So many people's lives will never be the same. How could you take away Mason and Aiden's mother? Justice has been served, but it doesn't lessen the profound pain and loss.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state of Ohio has no further victim impact statements to make.
Does the defense have a victim impact statement?
Yes, sir.
Ingham.
You may
Thank you.
proceed.
First off, I'd like to start by saying my heart goes out to you guys. I honestly do care, and I feel bad. And I wanted to go on and say, nobody has spent more time with Eric, Lacey, and the boys than Nancy and I did. Birthday parties, holidays, our annual 2-week 4th of July camping trip, which I set up last night. We've been doing it 35 years. Our 2-week Halloween camping trip, plus getting the boys every weekend, especially in December 2018, the 24th, the 25th, the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and most regrettably, December 30th. Lacey was a great mother and loved her boys more than anything in the world. Eric was a good father, helping potty train Aiden, helping teach them to read, helping with homework. We love and miss Lacey. She was our daughter-in-law and the mother of our grandchildren. Nancy and I wanted to buy a motorhome and travel. However, God had other plans for us. My goal now is to always think about the boys' best interest and listen to how they feel and make sure they live a good life and remember their mother and father as the people they really were. Eric is not the person I heard being described in this courtroom. I will never forget the first thing Eric told me when I bailed him out of jail. Dad, it felt so real. Yes, I love my son. And the day they put me in my grave, I will still believe I knew him better than anyone else. And I also knew what happened better than anyone else because I was there. I have nothing but respect for Officer Putman and Officer Aarons because they did the right thing. I will forever regret not taking Eric to St. Thomas instead of Coleman. I absolutely hate that I chose Coleman because it was closer. I honestly believe Lacey would still be here if I took Eric to St. Thomas. I have to live with that guilt. Eric and Lacey were best friends, and I believe they would have been together forever like Nancy and myself. Our lives changed forever on 12/31/18. It's sad when our life is put on paper and interpreted by strangers. We really are more than print on paper. I'm not angry with anyone, since I understand people are just doing their job and trying to do what they believe is right. But we are all human, and sometimes we get things wrong. This is one of those times. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any further evidence on behalf of the defense?
No, sir.
Is there anything the defendant wants to say before the court imposes sentence?
Your Honor, I advise Mr. Cunningham, because this was a trial and we are pursuing an appeal, not to make a statement, and he's going to follow my advice.
Well, he still has to say that.
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to make a statement?
No, sir.
Court upon considering the Ohio sentencing statute, the purposes thereto, the more serious factors, the less serious factors, and recidivism factors, again finds for sentencing purposes counts 1, 2, 3, and 4 all merge into count 2, and counts specifications, gun specifications counts 1 and 2 merge, and gun specifications to count 3 and 4 merge. I'll merge them into count 2 and count 3. With that being said, on count 2, there is an indefinite felony with an indefinite sentence of 15 years to life. On specification to count 2, it'll be the sentence of this court to be confined in the Ohio Department of Corrections for a period of 3 years, to run consecutive to the term in count 2 of an indefinite period of 15 years to life in the Ohio Department of Corrections. On count specification to count 3, the court will sentence you to 3 years. That is to run consecutive to the specification in count 2 and consecutive to the sentence in count 2, making for a total of, if my math is correct, a total of 21 years to life. Court would further order the gun specifications be served first. I do have to inform you that as you have a right to appeal, that you you must file that notice of appeal within 30 days from the date the entry goes on in this case. I doubt that that'll be today, it'll probably be tomorrow, but you have to file it within 30 days from the date that goes on. If you are indigent, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to have a court-appointed attorney? If you're going to be incarcerated, do you wish to have a court-appointed attorney, or do you wish to hire your own?
Court-appointed, please.
All right. Court will order a court-appointed attorney to process your appeal and file a notice of appeal. I'll put that appointment right in the sentencing entry. Anything further we need to do?
Nothing to
Mr.
state.
Michniak?
No, sir, thank you.
With that, we'll stand adjourned.
All rise.
Here's my probation report.
Kevin Mayer, 19 years. Joseph Down, I don't know if you can get away with it.
Check one, check the mic, 1 2 1 2.
This is Zach. I know who you are, but if you could tell me anything about your relationship with Lacey.
I'm Sarah Long, and I am Lacey's sister.
What do you think about the sentencing today?
I'm pretty satisfied with it. Obviously, like I said last time, nothing is going to bring her back, but he's where he belongs for what he did, and I hope that she's up there proud of us and is resting in peace now that finally can close this chapter.
6 years, long time to wait for justice.
Yeah, very long, but I'm really thankful to everyone that was involved, the prosecution, the advocates, we had police officers, we had so many people behind us and the community, so I appreciate all of that.
I heard you say that you were waiting to find the time to forgive. Did I misread that?
Well, I just said I'm working on it because part of me feels like if I forgive him, I'm betraying my sister, but then another part of me feels that the longer I hold on to that, the worse it'll be for me. And I said I don't hate him, and I don't hate him. I hate what he did. But I need to work on it to forgive him. Take some more time, process things now that he's sentenced and he's back in jail and he'll be in prison. So.
That sounds more than reasonable. How are the boys doing?
They're okay. I just saw Aiden at his baseball game on Saturday, and I just hugged him so tight because I just feel so bad for them. I love them so much. So did Lacey, and I feel so bad for them. They lost both their parents. It's not fair to them. Nobody thought about them in this.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
you taking the time.
Okay.
Anybody else want to say anything?